Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Week 5 in the books. Some more embarrassing losses for certain teams across the ACC. And more on deck for Week 6, too. We'll talk about that. What's up, Caden? How you doing, buddy? Matt Dummett, CJ, Roll Tide 99, Bulldog Brian, SOTD, Knowles by 1. No. No. Roger Dodger. I think things are about to get real interesting in the ACC and everywhere else, too. These next 3 or 4 weeks should be interesting. What's up, Jeremy? Let's bet Missouri versus Texas A&M. What? Did we talk about that? I don't think we talked about that game last night on the Lunch Money Show. I can't remember what the line is on that. What's up, Wahoo Brad? Big Tube. 4-1 incoming. Hey, maybe. Virginia's favored this week. Tony Elliott. Tony Elliott's about to get his an extension and a raise, I think, if he keeps this up. Hello, Noah. I'm amazing and fantastic. Thank you for asking. What's up, Mayhem? We'll get started here in just a few minutes. I'm waiting on my co-host to log in. Now, you know what? I haven't talked to Sea-Dog, but I think he did say he had power in the comment section the other day. So if he's got power, he should have Wi-Fi. Norvell cancels the game when Clemson lands the plane. Well, hey, it wouldn't be the first time, would it? Thank you, Noah. Yeah, we have a lot of fun over here. Yes, Uncle Lou is still here. Uncle Lou is still here, the Uber lady, and the kids and everything. It's looking like parts of Augusta are getting their power back, so they might get their power back soon. We'll get started here in about 30 or 45 seconds. Get this thing rolling. Shout out to all the people that got affected by the storm. Man, what's going on in North Carolina is absolutely devastating. And other places too, I mean. But it seems to me as if Asheville, North Carolina got the absolute worst of it. And then places like Augusta got it bad, and some places in East Tennessee as well. The upstate of South Carolina, Greenville, Clemson area. So, This might end up being the deadliest storm in the history of the country. Even deadlier than Katrina, from the sounds of things. They're saying hundreds and hundreds of people dead in North Carolina, and still they're finding more. So, all right. What do you say we get this thing started here? I think that sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a good idea. And the good news is, it looks like Sea-Dog. What's up, Sea-Dog? Looks like he might be prepared for the old camera today. Look at him. Holy shit, man. You've done that much in the past week to that house?
What?
It looks like an actual house in there.
It didn't look that bad the last time I showed you.
Oh, I don't know. It looked like a construction zone last time. It doesn't look that bad now.
No, I've got my countertops leaned up against the bar right here.
Yeah.
I'm putting those in tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the. What'd you say that was? What kind of wood was that? The countertop.
Well, it's a butcher block, and
Yeah.
it's like mahogany, I want to say.
Look at you, boy. That's for rich people. Mahogany.
Well, here's the thing. We went to a liquidation place that carries the stuff for half the price of Home Depot.
Yeah, that's like a flex. If like you're trying to show how much money you have, you're like, yeah, I got mahogany countertops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we got
mahogany.
Liquidation places. They're the way to go, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna get our dishwasher from one of those too.
Cool.
And they just got shipped for half the price of Home Depot, dude.
Now you didn't get hit that hard with the storm, right?
No, we just had some like rain for a couple days. It was pretty steady.
Right.
And like maybe a couple trees down.
Yeah.
But I didn't even lose power.
That's pretty much exactly what happened here.
No.
Yeah. No, it sounds like Augusta got it really bad. Obviously, North Carolina got it really bad. I'm sure parts of Florida. I mean, we're forgetting about Florida. They got directly hit with it, but it still seems like the worst of it happened north of Florida.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess I'm glad you're okay. Let's see who's in the chat here real quick. Who we got in here? We got Caden the Man, Matt Dummett, CJ, Roll Tide 99, Bulldog Brian, SOTD. Hey, yeah.
Bulldog Brian owes me freaking $25.
Bulldog Brian, you owe Sea-Dog $25 for what? From last year?
Yeah. we hit the over.
Oh,
He's
man.
been on a milk carton.
You're talking about a bet he made last year. I think the statute of limitations has run out on that one.
Hell no.
No?
Better send me my $25.
George is here. I'm surprised it's 4 o'clock. I'm surprised he's awake. It's only 4 o'clock on the West Coast. Jeremy Garland, Wahoo Brad, VicTube, Noah Livingston, Pete's Hawaiian shirt. I'm disappointed. No Hawaiian shirt for me today. But I'll make sure I wear one next week for you. Actually, no, I won't be here next week. I'll be in Nashville, Tennessee next Tuesday.
All right.
Going to Nashville from Sunday, leaving on Sunday morning, coming back Wednesday morning or afternoon, whatever. What's up, Mixa? Is Colorado going to win the ACC? Huh?
What?
What? No, they're not. All right, let's go ahead and pull up here. Well, let me do this first. We'll go ahead and pull up last week's games. Now, Georgia Tech did not play last week, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had a watch part. Where were you at when you were watching the Georgia game?
I was here.
Yeah, you're okay. So you had people over there, like your brother, maybe?
Yeah, Rec Talk. Well, he wasn't here for the Georgia game. He left like right before the Georgia game. But he came over to hang out for a little bit to watch the noon and 3:30 games. And my brother and my buddy Cody, they were over here.
Yeah. You love to hate watch Georgia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah. That was incredible. I mean, you couldn't have wrote it better. I was about to have a heart attack.
I know. I saw the video after the game was over. You looked like you were about to have a heart attack. You're right.
I was like, oh no, they're going to be bragging. They're going to have the greatest comeback in Georgia history. They're going to, they'll have beaten Alabama. But no, somehow they wind up with an even more heartbreaking loss. Just incredible. Really, just incredible.
It was an exciting game to watch, though. I mean, I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah.
Even from the blowout in the beginning to the comeback in the second half to the crazy way it ended with Georgia scoring finally to take the lead for the first time in the game, and then immediately, was it like the next play, Alabama scored a touchdown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people, said that they had turned it off after halftime or whatever, but like I was watching excitedly, like I wanted to see them get their ass whooped. I could have watched that all night.
Well, the people that turned it off were Georgia fans. They just didn't want to see them get beat down anymore.
Like neutral observers, because they're like, oh, this is a blowout. Who cares?
Oh, speaking of that, did you see I saw videos today. So who played Auburn this week? Oklahoma. Thank you. So Auburn was winning big time in that game. I mean, so like a lot of the fans left in the fourth quarter thinking that it was a shoo-in that Auburn was going to win the game, and they went and rolled Toomer's corner and celebrated, and then they lost.
No, you're kidding. Oh no.
Yeah, that's embarrassing there.
Damn.
That's embarrassing there. Oh, by the way, wasted all that good toilet. Yeah, do you know how many people need toilet paper right now, and they were wasting it on that damn tree? God dang, man.
Yeah.
But there was some good games last weekend. We started out with an amazing and fantastic game on Friday night between Virginia Tech and Miami, and Miami escapes with a 4-point victory on a controversial call at the end of the game. I'm assuming you know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
Yeah.
That game was great.
So
I was hoping for a good game. But,
so there's a lot of conspiracy theories running around. You know how anytime the refs go one way against your team, then people start making up excuses like it was rigged for the ACC needs to protect Miami because Miami's top 10 team and all that. I don't really buy into all that. I think it was a bad call though. I do. I mean, I think it was correct. Well, first of all, there is not a single angle on that replay where you can see what the ball's doing and who has possession of it. Not clearly.
Yeah. I think my take on it is I feel like you shouldn't overturn that like after review because it was just too much of a mess to have indisputable evidence, right?
Yeah.
I do feel like it was probably the wrong call to call it a touchdown, though, in the first place.
That's fine. But to claim that there's indisputable evidence.
You got to go with the call on the field in that situation. I have no idea how they could turn that over.
Yeah, I don't either. And it took them like 10 minutes to do it, too. That's the other thing. And you know why it took them 10 minutes? Because they couldn't see the ball like anybody else.
Yeah. So you go with the call on the field. It stands. I mean. Yeah. Jeez.
Well. Anyway, but that's a tough loss for Virginia Tech and obviously Miami.
Virginia Tech didn't look as helpless as I, kind of thought they'd be.
Yeah.
They might get their head out of their ass here this season. I don't know.
Unfortunately for them, that's their their third loss already now?
Yeah.
So, I mean
I'm sure none of them expected to win that game anyway. So to have the game won like that is probably a good sign, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they have some kind of turnaround or improve their team.
Right. But what this does show us that Miami is very beatable, which I think we already all knew that. Yeah. Because
it's so funny, man. It's so funny to me because like they did the same thing last year. They started out 5-0.
Yeah.
And then they lost to us in humiliating fashion. About happened again this year, but it's like the first time they face any real like competition or even like conference competition they freaking blow it after getting all this hype. It's like, yeah, I'm definitely feeling like Miami was a little bit fool's gold. I don't think they're a top 10 team.
They might be a top 10 team. I don't know if, I mean, there was people talking about they're going to, top 4 team, a bye and all that. I don't know. I don't know about all that.
Well, I mean, whoever wins the ACC, I guess, would get one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but Clemson's winning the ACC, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think Clemson will win if they play.
Clemson's in first place in the ACC now.
Yeah, I probably think Clemson wins the ACC.
2-0 in the conference. I'm sorry to hear about that, Big Orange. Yeah, condolences to you and your family. That sucks. Yeah, so Miami does escape with a win. They're ranked number 7, I think. Were they ranked 7 this week or last week? I don't even know. I haven't seen the rankings this week. Whatever.
Who, Miami? I think they fell one spot. A couple. I think like Penn State. They fell to 8. I'm pretty sure. Like Penn State passed them, and one other team did. I can pull it up here. The people. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like Oregon passed them too. So it's Alabama, Texas, Ohio State, Tennessee, Georgia, Oregon, Penn State, Miami. Yeah. So they fell.
Doesn't matter. They've got to win the ACC as far as I'm concerned. Louisville at Notre Dame. Now this was actually the score looks a lot closer than the game actually was. I mean, Notre Dame pretty much controlled the entire game. I guess I didn't see this game live because I was streaming the other games, but I think that Louisville made a late run to try to come back at the end. That's the reason the score looks the way it does.
Well, but here's the thing. You freaking stream this game on Peacock. I'm just not going to watch it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing, too. Yeah, that's why I didn't watch it.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to this game.
Hey, what is wrong with them? Why are they doing that?
Dude, I don't know, man. It really, really sucked.
They better be getting a lot of money from Peacock for that. But
apparently, my wife said just Amazon is apparently doing it too. They're putting games on Amazon. I think that's NFL games.
Yeah, well, Thursday night football for the NFL is on Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's a Patriots fan, so she likes watching them. I guess it would go on Amazon, which is weird.
Did you hear? And I heard a rumor today. Well, actually, I saw the actual player posted on X. There's a defensive back, and I think it's a starting defensive back for Notre Dame that quit the team today.
Yeah. D lineman.
Defensive line. Okay, I thought it was a defensive back.
Yeah, no, I know because somebody posted it in the Georgia Tech Discord that I'm in, and they're, obviously we need big time help on the D line. So
yeah, what's up with that? I mean, Notre Dame's
top 100 player in his class.
Top 100 player in his class. I think he's a starter. Yeah. Notre Dame's got a good defense. I mean, that's the better part of their team. They're still in the playoff hunt. I don't know. I don't understand what.
I don't know, man. You got all kind of crazy stuff going down with NIL and crap. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but UNLV has that crazy situation or whatever with their players.
Well, of course, everybody calls Dabo a crybaby. Well, I guess he was crying about something else the other day. Well, he wasn't. He didn't initiate it. They asked him about it, but he said, "Yeah, tampering is at all-time high right now." He was claiming that there's people trying to recruit his current players to transfer to their school on the sideline in Clemson.
No.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
That's what he said.
Wow.
So if that's true, that's really bad. But
here's the thing, though. I get what he's saying, but is it even tampering anymore? Because I thought all that stuff was made legal now. It's not even against the rules anymore.
It might not be. I don't know. But it's sort of like remember the week 1 when Miami played against Florida, and then now this is different though. The players from Miami went over to the recruits that were standing on the sideline for Florida and said, "Don't go to Florida, come to Miami."
Yeah, I remember that.
But that's different than like a coach or something saying, "Hey, come here," Well, we'll give you a better NIL deal if you leave Clemson, something like that. That's kind of dirty. But
yeah, that's way different. I don't know. It's probably not even against the rules right now.
It might not be. I don't even know if there are any rules. And if there are rules, I don't even know what they are.
We got tampered with bad when Lane Kiffin kept freaking hitting our players up. Our players said that. Our best receiver, Eric Singleton, he was like, yeah, I had people offer me all kind of money and everything to leave. Like, yeah. Before it was made legal, I guess, they were doing that. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Roll Tide says there might be 2 ACC teams in the playoffs after all with how bad Notre Dame is. I think there's a very good chance 2 teams get in from the ACC. Miami
could compete. If they have 1 or 2 losses, they could compete for a spot in the playoff.
Yeah, same with Clemson. I mean, Clemson already has 1 loss, but yeah.
I just don't. I never really. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I was kind of high on Miami. Like, I even said it at the beginning of the year, begrudgingly. I never did consider them like a playoff or a conference. Like, I never thought that they would win it. You know.
Yeah.
I thought maybe once the season started, Florida State looked bad and Clemson looked bad at first, but now I'm not so sure.
Are you installing your counters right now?
I'm heating myself up some tacos. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought it sounded like you were doing construction work back there. I was just making sure.
I'm just getting tacos. Hang on.
Fire up the chainsaw while you're at it.
Let me heat up some tacos real quick.
So Louisville loses this game. Louisville's still one of the better teams in the ACC, I think. I mean, that's not technically a conference loss for them, so it doesn't really affect their ACC standings, and they still have to travel to play Clemson. I think Louisville dodges most of the best teams in the ACC. Honestly, I don't think they play Miami or. Well, what am I doing? I was about to say Florida State. What is wrong with me?
Yeah, and look, like I think that I mean, Notre Dame, I think, is probably a pretty good team, like a top 15 team at least. I know it's terrible and everything. They lost to Northern Illinois, but they appear to have bounced.
Well, they might need to go ahead and fire Marcus Freeman and hire the coach from Northern Illinois, because apparently he's the one that fixed the team. Did you hear about that? That's a funny story. But
what now?
After Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame, the next day, the coach from Northern Illinois called Marcus Freeman and said, "Here's how we beat you."
Yeah, I did hear about that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so he basically said you're going to get beat more unless you change these things. So he's a better.
That's a nice.
It's a nice thing to do, but god dang, man, he's a better coach than Freeman apparently. Shit.
I mean, Marcus Freeman is his first job as a head coach, and he just happens to have the reins of freaking.
Yeah, I think the Notre Dame people are going way off the rails with the fire Marcus Freeman thing, or at least they were after that loss. I don't know if they're calmed down a little bit now, but yeah, you got to get together.
That was pretty bad. And you're 3, right?
Yeah, he's got similar stats to what Brian Kelly had, and Brian Kelly's the winningest coach in the history of Notre Dame.
Yeah, but he didn't go around losing a group of 5 teams. Marcus Freeman.
That's true.
Every single year.
Well, that you know what? That's actually true.
That is absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah.
In year 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly can't blame him.
Well, I don't think
there's no telling what I'd do if my coach lost to Northern Illinois in year 3. I don't know what I'd do.
I still think Notre Dame is a potential playoff team. Now they got to play Navy and Army. Look out! Navy and Army still both undefeated. The first time that Navy and Army were both 4-0 since like 1942 or something like that. So, I don't know. They can afford to lose 1 more maybe, but if they get 3 losses, they're definitely not getting in because they don't have the conference championship game. So we'll keep an eye on them. Stanford at Clemson. Wow, another amazing performance by Cade Klubnik and company. Defense didn't play so hot, but they did hold Stanford to 14 points. That's because of 4 turnovers. And 2 of those turnovers were in the red zone. So that's brutal for Stanford. Look, this game, it was brutal from Stanford from the beginning, going back to the Storm. Because Stanford didn't get into Clemson until Friday night because of the hurricane.
Yeah.
And then they had to play on Saturday. Of course, you know, all the way across the country, time zone changed, the whole thing. So I felt bad for them. But Stanford, though, look, man, number 1 rush defense in the country. I didn't know that until they played Clemson. But they did a good job bottling up Clemson's run game. Oh, outside of Cade Klubnik busted off a couple of big, huge runs, one for a touchdown. But they really did limit Clemson's running game. But Clemson pretty much did what they wanted through the air all game. And a lot of people mad at Clemson for playing this game because of all the devastation in the Greenville and surrounding areas, and Charlotte, and you know, all the surrounding major metropolitan areas around Clemson were pretty much devastated. Clemson itself, the campus, no power. All the restaurants were closed, the bars were closed, but somehow the stadium had power, but nobody else did. So,
man.
Yeah, people were big mad about that, and I even said I don't think they should have played. I think they should have postponed it. But at the end of the day, I don't really think did it really hurt anybody. Plus, Stanford went way out of their way to travel to make sure they got there on time for the game. You're going to tell them no and turn around and go back to California. Now we're not playing the game. So I don't know. Dabo said he didn't care either way. It wasn't his decision. So people are mad at Dabo for it. It wasn't his decision to play the game. He's just a coach. So anyway, Clemson on a hot streak right now. Ever since their embarrassing loss to Georgia in week 1. 3 straight dominant wins, and Cade Klubnik's out there looking like the quarterback that we thought he should have looked like last year. And we finally got some receivers for him to throw the ball downfield to. So again, it's Stanford. Stanford's not a playoff team or anything, so I'm not saying that, but it's good to see them be consistently good on offense for the first time in a long time, if you're a Clemson fan. So hopefully they can keep it up. Now, this week it won't matter. We'll talk about that when we get to next week's games, but they're playing the worst team in the Power 4, so so it shouldn't be a problem. Western Kentucky, Boston College. I didn't see any of that game. BC only won that by 1 point, though.
Yeah, Castellanos was out.
Yeah, and he's out this week, too, isn't he?
I guess so.
I think he is. He better be based on the line I saw, because yeah. I'm pretty sure he's still out.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, hey, survive in advance, I guess. I mean, you're without your starting, great quarterback in year 1. So I don't hold that against them.
Northern Illinois and NC State. I didn't see any of this game, but I was tracking the score as it was going on. This was actually a pretty good game. At least the way that the scores were going. They ended up winning 24-17. NC State did. A narrow escape there from Northern Illinois. I picked Northern Illinois to win the game. I did.
Yeah, I think we all did, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, look, NC State's not good, and Northern Illinois they have a much better win than anything NC State's got. I mean, NC State's played 2 good teams and lost badly to both of them, Clemson and Tennessee.
And Bow lost to Western Carolina.
Almost lost to Western Carolina, too, exactly. And Northern Illinois is a good team for the group of 5, so, yeah. But anyway, they found a way to get it done at home. Holy Cross and Syracuse. Syracuse blew them out. Nothing to really see there. Wake Forest lost to Louisiana.
I saw that. Did their ass kicked or not?
Yeah, 41-38 was the final score.
I feel like for a while it was a bigger gap in that, but I don't know. I kind of just followed the score like you said, like you did.
I don't really know what to say, but Wake Forest is just not good. So that's pretty much all there is to that. I don't think they're going to make a bowl game this year. I have to look at their schedule, but what do we have? Let me get this here. I'm trying to remember what we picked Wake. We had Wake at what?
6 wins?
7-5. What? No, I can't.
That's right, but you know me, I'm a huge Clawson fan, and they don't usually suck this bad. Usually they might have a bad year every now and then, but usually they're able to bounce back.
Well, we might have reversed these here. We had Wake at 7-5, and we had Duke at 5-7. Duke, look, what? Holy shit! What? Duke down 20-0 in Chapel Hill at halftime. They go on a 21-0 run to win by 1 point. That is absolute. Look, losing. I would rather lose by 21 points and get blown out than be up by 20-0 at the half and then lose the game.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That is absolutely brutal. And that's coming off the heels of the week before, Mac Brown, telling everybody at halftime he's going to retire, and then he has to retract it. It's a total mess up there in Chapel Hill right now.
Yeah. I mean, Mac Brown, it's his last year. I mean,
this definitely is last year. I think he was about ready to walk away, and they told him, no, just stick around to save this recruiting class. You can walk away at the end of the year or something. And plus, I don't think they have. I mean, what, Jeff Collins going to be the head coach? I mean, who's going to who's going to be the interim if he walks away?
Yeah, no, not Jeff Collins. They have some, I think they have like an alumni position coach or something like that. They were talking about promoting.
Oh my gosh, alumni position coach.
Hey, it's not always the worst thing to have an alumni position coach interim.
That sounds pretty bad to me. I don't know.
Okay. It works out for some people.
Okay. Oh, well, it happened to Georgia Tech or something? Talking about Brent Key?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I see what you're doing there. Anyway, wow. But meanwhile, guess what? Duke undefeated.
Oh, man.
Duke is 4-0.
And we'll get to this, I guess, but we play them next week. I guess we'll talk about it when we talk about it. But, dude, I don't think anybody saw Duke 5-0 coming.
You play them this week, you mean?
This week, yeah.
Yeah. I know what you meant there. North Carolina in a tailspin. Season's over for them for sure. Duke impressing everybody. Now, look, they haven't. It's not like they played the greatest opponents, but still, I don't think anybody expected Duke to be 4-0 after the first 4 games. New head coach, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So shout out to Duke.
Yeah.
Florida State at SMU. I don't even know what to say about it. I feel like I've talked so much about Florida State in the past 6 weeks that I don't even know what to say anymore.
It gets less and less funny every week.
It's not funny. It's actually pretty sad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun to point and laugh at them, but this is like a level of bad that I haven't seen in a long time.
Well,
and now
the State is like, they're just bad this year. They're not a good team, and they, it would probably be in their best interest to just look forward to next year. Unfortunately, they still have a bunch of games to play. Like this year is already a failure, and
I agree.
They're being forced to play these games, so this is going to keep happening.
And then we'll talk about this matchup in a minute between Clemson and Florida State this week, but I don't know what's going on with Vegas, but the line on that is absolutely insane to me, which usually if it seems insane, there's some reason for it. Maybe I just don't know the reason. But, well, first of all, DJ's not playing. Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah.
But so Brock Glenn's starting, but he doesn't have a very good record as a starter. He's only started a few games. Well, he started the ACC championship game last year after Jordan Travis got hurt. Of course, they did win that game, but then he got blown out by Georgia in the was that the Orange Bowl? Yeah, I think it was the Orange Bowl. So anyway, an absolute rout. SMU 42, Florida State 16. DJ looked like an absolute deer in headlights, a turnover machine. Florida State can't do it. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They can't stop the pass rush. They can't run the ball, and they can't every phase of the game they're bad in. They might have a good kicker because they did get 16 points.
Yeah.
But everything about that team's bad, man.
DJ Ukulele is almost as bad as Carson Beck.
Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Did you hear what I said the other night? Carson Beck threw more interceptions in that game against Alabama than Cade Klubnik has all season.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which I think it was 3. And Klubnik's got 2 interceptions. So, all right. So there's last week's recap there. Week 6. Can you believe we're in week 6 already, dude? It seems like yesterday that Georgia Tech was playing Florida State in Ireland.
I know.
It's already week 6.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody's got all these bye weeks. So there's more than 6 weeks of football left, or 7 weeks of football left, which is good.
Yeah, right. And then we got the extended playoffs and all that. So, yeah. I mean, there's still plenty of time left. It's still.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It seems like it just started. It comes and goes quickly. Syracuse at UNLV. This might be a good game here. Now, I thought because the UNLV had 2 players quit, their starting quarterback, and I believe it was a running back, both quit last week before this game, but UNLV went out there and won the game despite that. And now they host Syracuse, and UNLV's ranked top 25. So this is that's a Friday night game? Yeah, Friday night at 9 p.m. At the Raiders Stadium in Las Vegas. So I'll be tuned.
I picked UNLV to freaking lose this past week because they lost their 2 best players, but damn.
Yeah, UNLV's undefeated. So they're sitting at the top. They're still on their playoff run. I think they're going to run into a buzzsaw here pretty soon, though, with their schedule. They might. I think they're going to lose to Syracuse. But I'm not super positive on that. I mean, I'm staying away from this game as far as betting because Syracuse has been sort of up and down throughout the season. They've obviously they played great against Georgia Tech. We saw that. But
Rec Talk says, can you let him in?
Oh, yeah, sorry. What's up, Rec?
What's going on, guys? How are you?
What's up?
Good, man.
Where you going?
Yeah, where you going?
I'm going to Mexico.
Mexico?
Going to Mexico?
Yeah. I'm going to sneak over the border.
Oh.
Cool.
Well, you won't have any problem getting back in.
Nah, man. Yeah, I waited for an opportune time.
Yeah, Nature Boy says, "Are you a mule?"
Yeah, and I don't want to talk about how I'm hiding all this, but
yeah,
it's not great.
I figured with all those expensive cigars that you buy, you got to be doing something on the side for extra money. Is it? Or that might be it.
Yeah. For sure.
So, all right, we'll move on here. SMU. There's a bunch of good games in the ACC this week. SMU at Louisville.
Yeah, you have to think Louisville wins that game, but I know Louisville fans are really high on themselves. I had one comment like Notre Dame's clearly a playoff team and a fluke loss for us, but it was on Peacock, so no one saw it. So who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm picking Louisville in this game here. That might have been one of my picks. No, they weren't. They weren't one of my picks. Yeah, but this should be a good game here. SMU, another team. These are both two teams that have been sort of up and down, but Louisville's been more consistent. Their only loss being to Notre Dame, so I'll probably take Louisville in that one there. Boston.
They're about to get a taste of what the Power 5 is really like. Power 4.
Yeah.
Because Florida State's not representing us well.
No offense to SMU fans, if there's any listening, but I do want Louisville to win this game. I want Louisville to keep winning until they play Clemson. We need a quality win over here. We're not going to get one this week because we're not playing a quality opponent. Actually, for the next 2 or 3 weeks. But anyway, Boston College at Virginia. Virginia, another team sort of like Duke, coming out of nowhere. What are they? 3-1.
Yeah, they haven't played really anyone right. I mean, they came back against Wake, but Wake's only got one win. I think that's their only Power 5 team they played, right, or Power 4.
You might be right about that.
I mean, they're not dogging Virginia, but I mean.
Well, Boston College quarterback's hurt. I don't think he's playing this week. And really, that offense does not look anything like it did when they beat up on Florida State without that quarterback in there. I mean, he's similar to Haynes King. He's like 50% of the offense for that team.
I think I would take Boston College if they had Castellanos, but since they don't, I'm tending towards Virginia here.
Yeah, I think I'm with you.
Toss without their quarterback.
I think the last time I looked, Boston College was a 1-point spread or something. I mean, it's basically a pick 'em.
Where's the game being played?
It's in Virginia.
I'd probably say give me Virginia then.
Yeah, big home field advantage there.
Hey, better than traveling.
You don't just walk into.
You don't even know the name of that stadium.
To insert name here stadium.
Yeah, you don't just walk into insert name here stadium. Expect to get a win. Boy, down bad. At 12 o'clock on the ACC network, that's how you know it's a bad game. No, but I'm looking forward to actually seeing that. See if Virginia can beat Boston College, even without Boston College quarterback, that'll be impressive because they will have surpassed our projection for them for the entire season. I think we had them at 4 wins.
What's the most wins Elliott has at Virginia?
Well, last year he won 4 games, right?
Is that the most he's won in a season?
I think so.
Yeah.
Where's Wahoo Brad at? He knows. Yeah, we had them at 4-8, Virginia. So if they win this week, they will have already met their expectation for the season, as far as we're concerned. And,
I wonder where the ACC huddle guys are going to go. Do anybody know that where they're going this week?
Who's Cal playing?
I don't know. Man,
I like having them come to our games.
They might, because Cal's got game day, right? So I guess they won't go there. Because there's nationally not many good games. I think there's only one top 25 matchup this week.
Yeah, there's not a great slate of games this week. You're right. Yeah, I mean, if game day is going to Cal, you know there's not that many great games.
Yeah.
I mean, it should have been Clemson and Florida State because that's a rivalry, and it was 2 preseason favorites to go to the ACC championship, or 2 of the 3. But Florida State messed that whole thing up, so we can thank them for that. But Pittsburgh at North Carolina. I mean, does anybody think North Carolina's going to win this game? I don't.
Hell no.
No, Pitt's going to beat them by 30 or more.
I think so too. Poor Mac Brown.
Well, and I heard you saying like he's staying to save his recruiting class, but everyone knows he's not going to be there next year. There's a 0% chance. So I don't really know how that even saves their recruiting class.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe he's there to help them try to find the next coach or something.
Find his replacement.
Yeah.
Let him train his replacement.
Yeah, train his replacement. Well, it just doesn't really make much sense why he still is there, because I don't even know why at halftime you'd come out to your players and even hint at leaving if you weren't serious about it.
Yeah.
And then the next day be like, oh, well, I might have overreacted. So, somebody talked to him in the interim time.
And for that to go public, like, man.
Yeah. That's bad.
For like the next 3 years.
But the list of potential coaches to go to North Carolina is funny.
I haven't looked at that. Is there odds out on it or something?
No, just like I on Twitter, people posting, hey, these would be the candidates for North Carolina. Same thing's going on.
What are some names?
Well, the usual suspects, and some of them are just like completely ridiculous. Like even for Florida State, the same thing. If Mike Norvell gets fired or whatever, or takes another job, who would replace Mike Norvell? We saw this. Let me pull this list up. This is insane. This is embarrassing list here for anybody who knows anything about college football. Short list of candidates for Florida State would be. Now this is a Florida State fan that posted this. Okay, Lane Kiffin, Cliff Kingsbury. Nick Saban, And Jimbo Fisher.
So they're going to rehire the coach that they ran out of town.
Holy
and
shit.
A&M's
And then at the end of that, it says, this is according to several sources that I have talked to at the university.
Wow.
Yeah, those are the same sources that said their defensive line was the best in the country, right?
Nick Saban is so funny.
It's the same sources that told them that Florida State was going to be in the SEC this year, too.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know, but they're all funny. First of all, Lane Kiffin, that would be a downgrade from Ole Miss. I mean, but Florida State's a mess right now. Cliff Kingsbury's a terrible coach. I don't even know why he'd want him. Nick Saban's not. Why would you leave Alabama to go to Florida State?
He just retired 5 minutes ago.
And the Jimbo Fisher thing, I think that's just got to be a troll. That can't be serious.
I don't know. It's hard to tell what's serious with the Florida State fan base.
So, Pete, I thought you were talking about replacements for Mac Brown at North Carolina.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't remember. There was some funny ones on the list I saw for them, too. I can't remember who they were now. I screenshotted the one for Florida State. That's the only way I remember who they were. But
I'm sure Lane is on the list. Lane's on like every list for everyone looking for a coach.
Oh, you know who one of them was? Manny Diaz, the team they just lost to.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Manny Diaz.
North Carolina's was more realistic yet sad. Like there was a bunch of position coaches on there and coordinators that I saw. It's like, dang, man, they don't think much of themselves.
They're saying that list isn't real. I don't know. It says a Florida State fan posted it on Twitter. Everything on Twitter is true. What are you talking about?
He has sources, dude. What's that guy?
He's got sources.
I wonder if Chip Kelly would take another head coaching job.
Yeah. Actually, that might be
North Carolina.
that might be a decent fit, North Carolina, for Chip Kelly. Actually.
They have the same color, right? Didn't he come from UCLA?
Yeah.
He just got all the baby blue color programs.
They're saying Cliff Kingsbury is a good coach for the Commanders. Yeah, but he's not a good head coach. I mean, he wasn't a good head coach in college, and he wasn't a good head coach in the NFL either. So, I mean, he's a good offensive coordinator. I'll give him that. But I don't know. I wouldn't want him. Anyway, Pittsburgh by 100. Pittsburgh by 100.
Maybe they'll hire Pat Narduzzi.
Pat Narduzzi. There you go. Or maybe after Dave Doran gets fired by NC State, he'll go to North Carolina just to give him the middle finger.
That would be rough.
That'd be great.
I would love that.
Well, if you're talking about other North Carolina head coaches, Dave Clawson.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. And that would be an upgrade. I think that would be an upgrade from Wake Forest. Yeah.
It'd be an upgrade for both parties there.
Yeah.
I still think that I still haven't sold on Dave Clawson. I mean, he took him to the ACC championship a couple years ago, so that's got to give him some kind of leeway to have a bad year or two.
Well, they were terrible last year too, so this is year 2 of them being bad.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
But he usually doesn't. I mean, he might have a bad year every now and then, but usually he bounces back.
Well, almost any team, even Wake Forest, will tolerate one terrible season. But after 2, then it doesn't matter where you are. The seat starts getting hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. But then again, I don't know. That's a real situation about if you get rid of Dave Clawson, who are you going to get at Wake Forest that's better than Clawson? Yeah. And there's a very short list of people who would be better than him there.
Mac Brown. They just can.
Just trade? Yeah, we'll just trade out. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, like they're Pokemon.
Yeah. So Wake Forest at NC State. This is 2 bad teams. It's NC State. I'm going to take them just for that reason. And I guess they're better than Wake Forest. I don't know. They're bad, though.
Jeez.
Does anybody think?
I don't even know what to say about that game.
No, that's 2 terrible teams.
Yeah, just thinking about that game, it's depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Big win for Dave Dorn and company there. This game has potential to be very good. Virginia Tech at Stanford. I don't know if you heard me at the beginning of the show, Rex. Stanford, #1 rush defense in the country. Did you know that?
I did not, because I don't pay much attention to Stanford, but Stanford's not an awful team.
No, they're not.
I mean, I don't. Where'd you say this is? Is this in Cali?
Yeah, it's in Stanford. I mean, so Stanford had to go. Now they went into Syracuse and beat Syracuse, and then they had then they had to go to Clemson the next week, and obviously Clemson just was too much for them. But yeah, I think this has the potential to be a very good game. I think Stanford might win this game.
I do too, and Miami would hate that, but I tend to agree.
Yeah. What do you think, Sea-Dog?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I like to think that Virginia Tech wins because I'm an ACC homer. But
Well, Stanford's in the ACC, so.
They're new blood, though.
Yeah, new blood. Yeah, so they're not in the club yet, you mean?
They got earned stripes, but getting their ass beat.
Yeah.
yeah, they're not in the club. I ran around saying they wouldn't be able to compete all off season, so.
Well, I'll give them credit. They could have easily backed out of that Clemson game, and they didn't do it. So I'll give them credit for showing up and playing that game.
They already got an ACC win at freaking Syracuse. So
Yeah, Syracuse.
good for them, but I don't know. I think I might roll with Virginia Tech. See what they got. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of want Virginia Tech to win this just because Clemson has to play them this year in November.
We do too.
In Blacksburg, too.
Yeah, we need Virginia Tech to win, and their running back's named Tootin, and I'm not mature enough for that. So maybe give me Virginia Tech.
And running back's name's Tootin?
Yeah, Tuten. Tootin.
That's better than Orgy.
Oh, that's a hell of a name.
Yeah. Boy, at least he spelled it different. He'd be really screwed then if it's spelled the right way.
Yeah, he should be typecasted to a certain kind of cinema, I guess.
But I know a lot of people in the chat aren't ACC people and they laugh at the ACC games. But this game I think actually has the potential to be a fun game to watch. I don't know who's going to win. I'm giving Stanford the nod to win a close one just because it's on the left coast. But I think it has the potential to be a good game there. And we saw what Virginia Tech did against Miami, and Miami's a very good team. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they going to have a letdown because of the way that game ended, or are they going to be mad about it and go out there and perform well? We'll find out together. Clemson at Florida State, man.
This is going to be a beatdown.
DJ's not playing.
You could break Georgia Tech's record of 222-0 here.
No. But more than likely, Dabo will play all 85 players that travel to this game. And we were having this discussion, I think, on Monday's midday show about Dabo. The whole Mayberry, Andy Griffith routine thing, where he's the nicest guy in college football, is true to a certain extent, but he also is petty.
Yes.
Because we saw what he did against Dave Dorn a couple of weeks ago when they were, absolutely blowing them out in the first half, and he did everything he could to score one more touchdown before the half to make it even worse. Calling timeouts when you don't need to. So he is petty. He will run the score up on certain teams, and more importantly, certain coaches. And I think out of all of the coaches in the ACC, that Dabo doesn't like, but he pretends like he does like, Dave Dorn at the top of the list, and Mike Norvell it would be probably a close second.
Well, I'm sure he got tired of being compared to Mike Norvell and their philosophies of the transfer portal and stuff.
Well, I don't think it's so much that. It's really what happened in 2020 during the COVID year. Remember, Clemson went down. They're in the locker room 10 minutes before kickoff, and they say, oh, well, the Florida State's calling the game off because one of your guys might have COVID or something. So he was mad about that.
Never mind. Someone sneezed. screw this, get on the plane.
Yeah. And there was sort of a back and forth there between Norvell and Dabo, taking shots at each, sort of like, you know, what do the kids say? Sneak disses, you know. Yeah. So, sneak disses.
I like the out front disses.
Yeah.
I ain't heard the sneak disses.
Yeah, sneak disses is worse. Yeah. So if someone disses you to your face, you could take it. They sneak diss you, now you really got a problem.
Yeah, that's a bitch move, dude.
It's a bitch move.
Yeah.
So anyway, Florida State's terrible. Clemson is on a roll right now. DJ's not playing. I don't know. I don't think that hurts Florida State. I mean, they can't be worse at quarterback than DJ, can they?
No.
I don't think so.
That's the thing. Like, Florida State hasn't even got into the hard part of their schedule yet.
I know.
It was considered backloaded. Like, I mean, think about the teams they played so far: Georgia Tech, Boston College, Cal, and SMU. I mean, I'm sure
they still got to play. They still got to play Miami, Notre Dame, I think.
Dude.
Well, Clemson this week. Those are all 3 losses.
Yeah.
So.
Is Dabo's son still on the roster?
I don't. No, I think he's a coach now.
Oh, okay. I was going to say if he is, he'll get
I'm being serious. He's not a coach, but he's like he's in some sort of offensive advisory role, whatever the fuck that means.
Is he the equipment manager?
No, he's giving it. This guy has 1 catch for 5 yards in his career, and he's giving advice on offense.
You too can catch a ball for 5 yards if you do the Dabo son system.
But to be fair, Dabo was a walk-on who only had like 2 catches in his entire career at Alabama. He turned out to be a pretty good coach. So I don't know.
That is true.
Maybe he's a chip off the old block. I don't know.
Might be your next head coach.
You know what? Maybe Dabo's son is the reason that Cade Klubnik actually looks good this year. They didn't have him on the coaching staff last year.
He's the Klubnik whisperer?
He's the yeah.
And we broke the code.
We broke the code, man. Oh, maybe his son ought to be offensive coordinator at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, fire Garrett.
So, but here's the puzzling thing about this game. Clemson only favored by 14.5 points. Now, Clemson was favored by 17.5 points against NC State 2 weeks ago. They were favored by 24 against Stanford. Both those teams are better than Florida State. Now, somebody said to me, "Oh, it's on the road." What does that matter in this game? Is Florida State fans going to even come to this game? I mean,
no, you can get tickets for like a stick of gum.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much protesting the rest of the season. I doubt they fill up that stadium.
This line should be at least 21.5 at a bare minimum.
I said somewhere closer to like 28, but yeah, at least 21 to 24. I don't know.
It should be 3 touchdowns at least. I mean, it seems reasonable.
Jay says, "Give me Florida State and the points." Well, go ahead and bet it, but don't plan on seeing that money again. But usually, as far as these lines go, if something's unbelievable, it's like too good to be true, there's usually a reason. I just don't know what the reason is. I mean, as far as I know, everybody's good to go for Clemson, unless there's some sort of inside information that I don't know about. But
well, I tell you what they could do. All Florida State fans bet against Florida State, like take out a second mortgage, and then donate that money for Norvell's buyout.
That's a great idea.
You could turn a negative into a positive.
Maybe that is what they're doing, because the line opened up Sunday at 16.5 or 17, and it's already down to 14.5. So that means the money's going on Florida State if the line's going down. So maybe it's Florida State fans trying to win some money to buy out Mike Norvell's contract. I don't know.
Broken the second code.
Takes a good amount of money to go on a team to move it that many points that quickly. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, Clemson big. Anybody who says Florida State's going to win that is just they got to be trolling.
Yeah.
That would be, you know what? If Clemson lost to Florida State this year, that might be just as devastating. And I'm not even kidding right now, as Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois. Like, I would be devastated.
Damn.
It would be like the biggest upset of the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be bad. So here's your game, guys. Duke at Georgia Tech. Now, I'm assuming, the Rec Talk, you are going to the game, aren't you?
I will be there.
Yeah.
And it might rain. I think there's another tropical storm headed up.
Oh, well, we don't need that.
No.
So this is another game where the line is crazy. We are favored by 8.5 points.
That's crazy to me. I'd take Duke. I told you this, Sea-Dog. I would take Duke in the points on that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, but, you know, I'm ignorant to this. I've seen Georgia Tech play, 3 games now, so I'm pretty confident about who Georgia Tech is and what they do. I haven't seen Duke play this year. I haven't seen a Duke game, so I don't even really know what to think about them. I mean, they're undefeated. That's great. But I don't have, like, any opinion as far as what they look like. And, I mean, what is their strength? I mean, what are they particularly good at?
Balanced to me. Like, they can run, they can throw. Their quarterback came from Texas. He's young. Like, in other words, there's talent on that team that can be realized. They're just young, and they're kind of rebuilding. Georgia Tech can't run the ball. They can't defend the pass, and they can't rush the quarterback. That's, to me, why 8.5 is kind of crazy.
Can't run the ball?
Correct.
That's not good.
That's their identity.
Yeah.
They cannot. Haynes King is their leading rusher right now.
Yeah, so they can run the ball, just not with their running backs, is what you mean.
Yeah.
Right. You're running the ball with the person you don't want to get hurt.
Jake.
We have to find our running. Our coaches, they're willing to abandon the pass, but not willing to abandon the run. They want to be a run-first team, which is great when it works, but, we passed really well this year.
Yeah, Haynes King is top 10 in QBR in the country, and for some reason we want to bang the ball in between the tackles.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to touch this game with a 10-foot pole, but it does seem, even without me knowing much about Duke, not having seen them play at all, I still agree with you. 8.5 seems like a lot of points for an undefeated team, and Duke,
and a Georgia Tech team that's on a 2-game losing streak.
That's a good point. And this is a huge game for Georgia Tech. I mean,
if you lose this, you're pretty much your season's over. I don't really want to use that term, but
well, mathematically, it'll be tough to compete in the ACC with 3.
Well, I've already given up on my hopes and dreams of competing for the ACC. I'm hoping to make it a 7 wins.
Well, that's what we picked about.
If you can't beat Duke, you're going to struggle to make a bowl because you still got Notre Dame, like Georgia in the back half, Miami. Like, Georgia Tech schedule's backloaded. That means you're going to have to find a way to win all your winnable games and then steal one from, like, Georgia, Miami, or Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You got to win Duke.
Jay says Clemson knows that Duke ain't nothing to F with. Yeah, well,
I can still hear Jackpot talking about it.
Oh, I'm still catching strays from last year. Jeez. Yeah. Well, this ain't the same Duke team as last year. Miami at California. This is where game day is. Miami coming off of a controversial win at home against Virginia Tech, ranked number 8 in the country. Cal. What's Cal's best win? Cal beat Auburn. Is that their best win?
I think so.
They somehow they lost to Florida State, which is unbelievable.
It's unforgivable.
Unforgivable and unbelievable at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that people are looking at this going, oh, it's on the left coast. Miami, looked very beatable against maybe slightly above average Virginia Tech team, and so they're on the ropes. This could be an upset alert here. I'm not buying into that. I think Miami is probably going to go in there and win this pretty handily. I don't remember what the spread is on this.
Well, they'll probably be focused. They got humbled a little bit last week, underperforming. That's probably the worst thing that could have happened for Cal.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They're going up there a day early, which I think is pretty standard. If you're traveling from the East Coast to the West Coast, I think it's pretty standard for the teams to go up a day earlier than they normally would for a road game to adjust to the time schedule and all that. So I don't think that'll be an issue. The weather really shouldn't be an issue. It's in California. So yeah, I think everything points towards Miami. Now, if Miami did lose this game to California, now that would be hilarious.
Oh, yeah, you could throw out the we're back stuff.
Do you remember, well, of course you do. You remember back in the day when, with the rivalry between Miami and Notre Dame, and those Notre Dame students made the Catholics versus convicts shirts?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they've made shirts in Cal, the woke versus Coke.
That's fantastic.
Woke versus Coke.
That's awesome.
I guess I got to go with Coke then.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm going with Coke on this one. So, yeah, there you have it. That's it. That's it for the games. I don't know what you guys in the chat agree or disagree with. It looks like most people agreed with our picks in the chat.
That's because we're geniuses.
We are.
These three minds combined, there's no problem that we couldn't solve.
Roger Dodger says, I haven't been to the new stadium at Stanford yet. I didn't even know they had a new stadium.
Where?
At Stanford.
I thought all those California teams were like $1 billion in debt.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Stanford is. I think Stanford's okay financially, but...
Yeah, you're right. Cal's the one that's the most indebted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like $400 million in debt.
How does that even happen?
You don't give a shit about money.
I guess.
Keep spending it.
I mean, most of these schools are printing money, man. Even the bad ones.
Well, I guess no one watches Cal football or gives a shit about it, is what that says.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had a terrible. I mean, that's the reason they're in the ACC now, right? They had the terrible Pac-12 deal, but still, even all the other teams aren't that bad off financially.
Isn't that where Aaron Rodgers went?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, Marshawn Lynch. Yeah, we were trying to decide if game day is going to be there, who's going to be the guest picker. Well, the two most famous Cal players that are still alive, I guess, are Marshawn Lynch and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has a game to play the next day in the NFL, so I doubt he'll be there.
Marshawn would be great. It would be great if he just said, "Thanks for asking. I'm just here so I don't
I'm just here so I don't get fined."
The whole time.
You know what? They're probably scared about what he might say if they bring him up on the stage.
Yeah.
Because he don't care.
Well, and Aaron Rodgers would be equally as... I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a weird guy. I don't even know what that would look like with him being a guest picker.
Yeah, I don't think he's that weird. I think he's pretty normal.
You're out of your mind, dude.
No.
You don't remember, like, when the forest fires were going through California, and he put out a tweet like, "Man, just my family lives there. Think of my family." And then they responded to it and said, "We haven't seen you in 7 years."
Yeah, I guess he's estranged from his somebody. I don't know if it's his dad or his brother or whatever it is, but
His coach tried to hug him a few games ago, and he pushed him away, gave him the old double fist to the chest.
yeah, he was doing like a pump. He explained that after the game. It was like,
It was weird.
yeah, he wasn't mad. He was celebrating. That's why I did that.
Yeah, I always celebrate by pushing people away from me.
Well, he said that I don't know. You have to watch the explanation. He said that that's what they do to each other all the time. So it's an inside thing, I guess. But most people think that Aaron Rodgers is weird because he flies down to South America and drinks ayahuasca with a bunch of indigenous people in the jungle. I guess
That is weird.
Kind of weird the way you said it, Pete. I'm not gonna lie.
But I don't know. I'm not hating on him for that. Guy's trying to become a better person. Guess what else he did other than the ayahuasca and the mushroom things? He did this thing in the off season. I don't even know where you go to do something like this. You got to be rich and famous to even think of this dumb shit. He went into a room in complete darkness for like 72 hours, and all that's in there is a bed, a bathtub, a sink, and a toilet. And there's no light. So you're completely cut off from any light for 72 hours.
Jeez.
And he stayed in there for the entire 72 hours.
So he went to a prison with a power outage?
Yeah, I don't even know why you would do that.
And you just said you don't think he's that weird?
Now that is weird. I'll give you that. That is, I mean.
Hey, you're making the case for him to be the weirdest guy that's ever lived right now.
Now, see, so Joshua, he knows what I'm talking about. He says it's called a darkness retreat. So this is an actual thing. This is almost as dumb as those idiots that go to the restaurant where you eat in the dark. Have you seen that?
Hey, what's wrong with you?
Dude, what?
Yes. There's restaurants where you go in there and you eat at a table with whoever you came with in complete darkness.
That sounds like my wife's worst nightmare.
Why would anybody do that?
She has to have the lights on.
He tried to say this is master marketing by this restaurant. The way they market it is, the food tastes 10 times better when you can't see. I'm like, what? How does he? Is that even scientific? So you're telling me that food tastes better to blind people? I don't believe that.
Well, if they believe that, they should just gouge their own eyes out, and then the food will be great. I
got to see what I'm eating too. Like, I mean, what if you order a steak and it comes out and it's not cooked the way you want? I got to see what it looks like on the inside before I eat it.
Well, this is my worst nightmare because I'm like a very picky eater. They might have ketchup or mustard or something on the table, and I might get a taste of it. That would be a game changer.
Yeah, and then so they lead you like it's like you're in 5th grade. You got to hold hands to walk to your table. They lead you to the table like you're blind. Then if you have to pee to get up, you have to ask for help to get to the bathroom because you can't see where the bathroom is.
Is the bathroom dark?
I think the bathroom's dark too. Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you why this is a disaster. They had this in Atlanta where it was so you could see what being blind was like, and you were led around in a dark room by a blind person. But what it boils down to is you're trying to feel where you're going. You just keep grabbing the person in front of you's ass. That was what it was. You can't see.
Not to mention, I mean, how much of a nightmare would it be to be a server in a dark restaurant? You got to work an 8-hour shift in the dark. You can't even see where you're walking.
Yeah.
You just set the plate on their face.
That's unbelievable.
People spend money on anything. That's what I'm learning from this.
Yeah, you're right. Any dumb thing that you can make up, and have you done this? Have you eaten in the dark? You'll be like, yeah. When my power was out one time, I did, but it wasn't by choice.
Yeah, circumstances driven me there. I didn't pay my power bill, and I had to eat cold ramen.
So.
I bet it's expensive as hell too.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You pay twice as much to have no lights.
And they don't even have to make the food good. I mean, your dumbass can't see it anyway. Could have,
right.
Wilted salad.
Yeah, they could be giving you Kraft macaroni and cheese. You don't know.
Good though.
That was a dark joke. Yeah, that was a dark joke that you just made too.
Jesus.
So anyway, yeah, I think Marshawn Lynch should be the guest picker. Is there anybody else from chat? The chat's always way smarter than I am. Anybody in the chat? Is there any other very famous people that came out of Cal football, or just Cal in general? I guess. I mean, I guess there's probably a scientist somewhere, but he's probably not famous. Oh yeah, Jared Goff. Well, he also has to play a game the next day. Deshaun Jackson.
Okay. I think the Unabomber taught there, but he's dead, so he's out.
Tony Fauci.
That'd be great. I think we found the winner.
Boy, if Tony Fauci was the guest picker, the internet would actually explode.
Dude, everyone would be watching the game, though. That would be great, marketing.
Jason Kidd, okay. That's a good one. Tony Gonzalez. I didn't realize all those people went to Cal. Tony Gonzalez went to Cal?
I did not know that. He'd be a good guest picker. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been a commentator before.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome. One of the greatest tight ends of all time. Yeah, we already said Aaron Rodgers, but he's got a game to play on Sunday, so I doubt he'll be there.
And he's weird.
And,
So
yeah,
weird.
and he locks himself in dark rooms for 72 hours. He's my favorite player in the NFL. Maybe because he is weird, and he just doesn't give a
Really?
shit. Yeah, I like him.
Would you do that? I think the three of us should do that. The 3-day dart room.
I'm not doing that. I'll go in the jungle and drink ayahuasca, though.
Okay. I will compromise and do that. For 3 days.
I mean, come on, don't you want to meet God? I do.
I don't know, dude. That can go sideways on you in a hurry.
Oh, I know. Yeah, definitely. We don't have to fly to South America to do it. We can find some, fake shaman here in the States somewhere.
Just some hippie.
Yeah, just do it in his do it in his basement. Some shit that he made in his bathtub. Drink that.
All right, man, drink this.
Yeah. I don't even know who Gregory Peck is. Who's Gregory Peck? Must not be that famous if I don't know who he is.
I've never heard of him.
Aaron, are you a Cal fan or something? He's really stumping for Cal here. He says, guys, Cal puts a lot of quality people in the NFL who play for a lot of years. The same is true for UCLA. Yeah, I know that was true for UCLA, and of course, I knew about Goff and Marshawn Lynch and Aaron Rodgers, but I didn't know Tony Gonzalez went there.
Well, there's a lot of talent in California, and USC and UCLA can't get them all.
Yeah, what is that? The third best recruiting state? Florida. Well, I don't know. It might be
It
fourth.
might be second. I mean, there's a ton of talent in Cal.
Florida and Georgia are pretty comparable. Then Texas and California. So I don't know what order that's in, but Timothy Leary. Now that would actually make sense. He's the guy. Isn't he the guy who invented LSD? Is he still alive?
How do you know the guy who invented LSD?
The same reason I know that there's what Aaron Rodgers is doing in the jungle in South America.
Yeah, you're writing a paper on this, it sounds like.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm full of useless information like that. Yeah, he's dead though. Well, I guess we could have the ghost of Timothy Leary do that. Huffer Billy Paul's texting me, telling me that Timothy Leary's dead. Why don't you just type it in the chat? Why are you texting me that?
Yeah, let me get off here and just text you, and you can read what I once said on the show.
Oh, Bill
Didn't
Bixby.
that guy that make LSD though? Wasn't that like a government thing? And then he just would go on a subway and spray it in the air and take notes of how people reacted. Pretty sure that's true.
Well, the guy who invented LSD did it by accident. He was trying to make something else, some sort of medicine or something.
For pilots, they're trying to like enhance their.
I don't know, but anyway, he ended up taking it to try it out. Back then there wasn't any like clinical trials that they did shit with. He's just like, oh, I'll just take it and see what happens.
He said, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. So.
That was not what I thought.
Greg Gutfield, he went to Cal. I did not know that. That's actually surprising to me.
Who the hell is that?
The Fox News guy, the comedian. I don't even know how to explain it. He's got a show at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. The Greg Gutfield show. He's a comedian. You don't know who that is?
Okay. Nah, he sounds weird like Aaron though.
Peter Schiff. A lot of these names I don't even know who they are. But apparently there's a lot more famous people that went to Cal than I was aware of.
Yeah, shame on us.
Like, I think who's the most famous person? Who's the most famous person that went to Georgia Tech?
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter. Wow, yeah, that's a president.
Roman Reigns went to Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Roman Reigns. Jeff Foxworthy didn't graduate, but he was there for like a year.
Fuck Jack Foxworthy.
Jeff Foxworthy?
Fuck Jeff Foxworthy, dude. He cheers for Georgia.
Well, Calvin Johnson's an obvious thing as far as football goes, yeah.
We have actually plenty of people
I'm trying to think who the most famous person at Clemson was. Well, the guy who played Ivan Drago in the Rocky movie, he went to Clemson.
That guy's got 2 engineering degrees.
Yeah.
I think that's messed up. Like, you shouldn't have a physique like that and be smart. You should have to choose.
Did he? Well, I know he got his undergrad from Clemson. Did he go somewhere for grad school other than Clemson?
Yeah, like in Sweden or something.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. I didn't know he went to Clemson though.
Yeah.
What's he doing in Clemson? He's freaking Russian. He's like a spy.
Oh, I guess he was like a exchange student or whatever.
Is that after Rocky beat him and he went back to school?
Ivan Drago went to MIT. What, after Clemson? I don't know.
He was roided up anyways, dude. He cheated.
Yeah, Refrigerator Perry did go to Clemson, yes.
I mean, obviously, Trevor Lawrence.
Well,
Sean's
yeah, you look
famous for a variety of things. But.
Yeah, you look at some of the recent players. Yeah, I mean, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, all them. But Nikki Haley. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Nikki Haley went to Clemson.
What's she major in?
I don't know. War.
Yeah, fucking being angry.
How to start war 101. Yeah.
That's probably a pretty good class though.
Phil Hartman graduated from Clemson. Okay. But boy, I guess somebody just hit the Google button on famous people that went to Cal, because they're pulling some shit out of nowhere here. All right, guys. Well, we're done talking about the game, so I guess that's going to do it.
Yeah.
Get out early.
Oh wait, hold on. We got a special guest here. I didn't see him back there.
Hey, can I tell a Refrigerator Perry story?
Yeah.
Okay, so in a previous life before I was YouTube famous, I used to sell phones for no reason. And my first job ever selling cell phones was in the Augusta Mall. And I worked at one of those little push carts in the middle of the mall, right? And this middle-aged white guy, now that I think about it, Pete, he was about your age, the age you are now.
Early 40s?
He's middle-aged.
Oh.
Man.
Anyway, he comes up to me and he says, "Hey, do you know who William the Refrigerator Perry is, the football player?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, I'm his, it wasn't agent, because he was long retired by this time. This was late, and this would have been like maybe 99 or 2000. But anyway, he was his handler, whatever he was. He said he needs to buy a cell phone, and he wants to do it without attracting a lot of attention or whatever." And I was like, "Well, we're at a cart in the middle of the mall." And he's 6'6", 400 pounds. Anyway, he come up to the cart to buy the phone, and he was the nicest guy. Now he was broken down by this point. I don't know. Do you know his story? It's a sad story.
Yeah. After the NFL, he basically lost all of his money. Terrible health. I think he was a heavy alcoholic, and he was a mess.
If any of you are familiar with the Augusta area, he lived right across the Savannah River in South Carolina, in Edgefield, same place the Gypsy lives. But he had started building this huge house up on this hill in Edgefield, and the house only ever got like half built, but he still lived in it. But anyway, he came to the cart. He was the nicest guy. I mean, not pretentious or big-headed or whatever. And even though he sent the guy ahead, like to not attract a crowd or whatever, every single person that walked by that recognized him, he stopped and signed. This was before, there was no such thing as a camera phone. This was in 98, 99. So there was no like, hey, can I get a selfie deals? But he probably signed 100 autographs while I sat at that cart filling out his cell phone paperwork or whatever it was. And he was just, he was the nicest guy.
I think I remember the rumors that how he lost all his money. Was it like gambling, I think?
Yeah, that and some drugs and alcohol, I think. And he was in so much physical pain. I mean, look, I'm not going to make any excuses. Lots of people are in pain maybe and don't get hooked on things. I'm not, whatever, not judging him one way or the other, but he was in a lot of pain. But anyway, the nicest guy. He did
the autographs for free. He didn't charge for them.
No, and I mean, I'm talking about just random people walking through the mall and going, because look, you can't hide when your nickname is the refrigerator. You know, so like anybody that knew anything about football that walked by was like, oh my God, that's the fridge. And every single person that stopped and asked for an autograph, he signed it and was happy and smiling and talked to him for 5 minutes and the whole, like, he was just the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, you hear so many stories about how people meet some people out somewhere and they're complete assholes. Y'all mentioned Refrigerator Perry a minute ago, and I said, well, let me call in from downstairs and
call in from downstairs. Yeah.
And tell my story about a Tater man who was a really nice guy, and it's a, for those of y'all that maybe you know who he is, whatever, look up. It's just a sad story. It's a really sad story, but anyway, it was a great
kick-ass phone.
Huh?
Well, I mean, he got a Nokia 918 with changeable faceplates.
Boom, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gucci phone.
Right. I mean, that was top of the line back then.
Yeah.
Changed faceplates out, whatever color you wanted. It had those, what were the ringtones called initially when there was like the monotone ringtones, or
like MIDI files or something?
MIDI ringtones. Yeah, it had the MIDI, you know, every song sounded like it was played on a church organ. Whatever. But, he was a nice guy, though. Yeah, he was a nice guy. Walked with a cane. And this was, I don't know, when was he at Clemson? Early 80s?
Yeah. Clemson Hall of Fame. I mean, he's one of the greatest Clemson players of all time. I mean, he was absolutely dominant in college.
He's part of that 85 Bears defense that's the greatest of all time. I mean, he's one of the, so this would have been late 90s, though. So if he was at Clemson in the early 80s, this was 16, 17 years after that. So he wasn't even, he was 40, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 40.
He was
he looked like he was 50.
He was so physically dominant that they let him run the ball sometimes. You couldn't tackle him.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, can you turn your camera on and do the Super Bowl shuffle for the people, or no? In honor of the Refrigerator Perry.
I don't know. I haven't practiced.
Come on, man.
I would have to practice it.
Pete.
Well, practice it on camera so we can watch you practice it.
I don't remember how to do it. I could do the MC Hammer.
Is there better chance that Pigskin Pete does the Super Bowl shuffle on camera, or Georgia Tech somehow manages to make a bowl game this year?
Now why is Tech catching stress? I thought we were talking about Pete Dan.
Yeah, we're happy.
Actually, it's nothing against you. Wreck Man. But per normal, Sea-Dog's greatest joy in life is watching Georgia lose because his team can't win a fucking thing. So.
I get that, and everything, and that's what you gotta say. But,
and we're gonna beat you by 40.
I just want to let you know, it wouldn't matter if Georgia Tech was winning natties and Georgia was winning 3 games a year. I'd still take great delight in watching them lose.
Yeah, well, it matters to me. You're 25 years old. You've seen your team beat Georgia 3 times. Have a great day.
About to be 4.
That's right.
Dang. Oh.
took a turn on us.
Pete's not dance. Yeah, I'm the whitest dancer you ever saw. I can do the sprinkler.
Well, let's see the sprinkler.
I can do the sprinkler and the MC Hammer. Now, back in my heyday, back in the 90s, early 90s at that, I could do the kid and play. I don't even know if I remember how to do that. You need two people to do the kid and play.
Well, you need two people.
Yeah, it's a duo dance routine.
Well, for someone who doesn't know how to dance, you know a hell of a lot of dances, Pete.
Well, I don't know if you call it dancing or just moving around like a retard, but
we're not golfing. You ain't got to sandbag me. All right, let's see it.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see on the cruise. I mean, there's a dance club on the cruise ship, you know.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
We'll have to have what do they call that? A dance off, or what do they call that? A dance battle?
Stomp the yard, dude. Let's stomp the yard against each other.
Oh, you want to do stomps?
Yeah, dude.
No, some of these people might break their ankle. They start stomping.
Well, every time I try and do something like that, I hurt myself, and that's not going to change on the cruise.
Yeah. I tried to do that dirty dancing move with Mrs. Peete. I think I almost died.
Jeez. Oh, where you lift them up?
Yeah, I think she tackled me.
Get some wires or something.
Yeah, I think somebody dared us to do that. That was a bad idea. Don't mix dares and alcohol. Don't ever do that.
That's tough to do, man. Hold someone kind of parallel from me.
Mrs. Peete says she can do the cyclone. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, a new one?
Is that where you move your body like a cyclone and do it all night long?
But you got to rotate the right way because cyclone is like counterclockwise or something, right?
I guess. I don't know.
I've got more questions later.
What's scarier, Pete knowing dance moves or Lou having 5 purses? I think that's about a tie.
Could be a good combination, though.
Yeah.
Have a dance-off for Lou's purses.
Hufferbilly says he does the white man's underbite. What the hell?
Underbite?
The white man's underbite?
Yeah, how's that different from other ethnicities' underbites?
Pete got drunk this afternoon at Harris Teeter. Now, we were joking. Do y'all have Harris Teeter where you live?
No.
Oh, anyway, it's a grocery store. And they've got a bar in there.
In the grocery
Shop
store?
at the Winn-Dixie, sir.
Yeah, they've got a bar inside the grocery store.
Well,
So you can get effed up and get some cantaloupes.
I guess. I don't know. I've never seen anything like it before.
It's a good cantaloupe, man.
I told him I was scared to drink there because if I go in there, sit down and drink, and somebody like walks by and knows me, like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And I'm sitting there fucking drinking in the grocery store. That's a bad look there.
Yeah, it's not a winning move.
No, you got to be down. You got to be down pretty bad to get drunk at a grocery store. I'm just saying.
It could work out though, because if you get too drunk, you can just sit in that cart and have someone push you around.
Oh, I can definitely do the electric slide. Yeah, mediocre. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I think anybody can do that. I bet Sea Dog got that shit. I bet Sea Dog's the best electric slider in the history of electric sliders. See?
Sea Dog, what's your best dance move?
my best dance move.
Like, if you're trying to impress Mrs. Sea Dog,
He was doing some dance moves when he did that song in karaoke in Panama City. What song was that?
Bust a move.
Yeah, Bust a Move. Yeah, he was dancing.
Damn, I missed that.
I mean, I don't know what you call that move where you like shuffle your feet. He was
I can do that pretty well.
he was shuffling. It looked like dance moves to me, but I'm a terrible dancer, so I don't know.
Yeah.
The shimmy shake. Yeah. The typewriter. Oh. All right. Yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. We moved on to the icky shuffle and
Yeah.
the typewriter.
I'm down for it.
Whatever
dude.
that is.
I do the calculator get down. That's
The
my
that's only people that went to Georgia Tech know how to do that.
Yeah, it's like a prereq before class. We all do it. Then we go learn physics and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. somehow I actually believe you.
There was a lot of messed up stuff that happened there. I'll tell you about sometime.
All right. I'm looking forward to it. All right, thanks for coming on, Rec, man. Appreciate you. Good luck to your good luck to your Jackets this week. I think that's going to be a good game between Georgia Tech and Duke.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, talk to you later. All right, Sea-Dog.
All right, man.
How are your tacos? They're good?
They were great. I had like 15 of them.
You don't find that to be a problem, or?
They're only like that big.
Oh,
so.
okay.
Not that many tacos.
Yeah, you're encroaching on Nate territory there.
Yeah, no, they're tiny.
Okay.
They were good though. I enjoyed them. With some sour cream. Yeah, they were good.
Oh, yeah.
You don't like sour cream?
No, I
on
love
your
tacos, but I just put hot sauce on mine.
That's a very normal thing is sour cream on a taco.
Yeah, I know it is. I'm just not a big fan of sour cream, but
I'm a big fan of sour cream, man.
it's all right.
When I eat a burrito, I throw everything on there, dude.
I believe you. I believe you.
Burritos or beans, rice, freaking lettuce, tomato, onion, pepper, all the meat you can freaking find in there, cheese dip, and sour cream for sure.
That's a white boy taco there. The Mexicans don't eat that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a white boy. It's a gringo taco.
yeah, gringo.
Yeah, gringo taco. All right, man. Well, great show. You heard what I said? I'm not going to be in town next Tuesday. So
Yeah, okay.
if you and Rec want to do the show on your channel or whatever, I mean, I hope you do. But
Okay.
I won't. But I won't be here. I'll be in Nashville. So
Okay.
just so you know.
All right, man.
All right.
All right.
All right. Have a good one.
The week after then, later on.
All right. Talk to you later. The one, the only, the late, the great Sea-Dog, everybody. If he gives me the green light that he will do the ACC show next week on his channel, I'll make a community post and send you guys over there. Most of you should be subscribed to him already anyway. If you're not, do that, because his post-game video reactions, especially after Georgia Tech loses, are typically an 11 out of a 10. So if you're not subscribed to Sea-Dog, do it as soon as you click off of here. All right, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. for the midday show on my second channel. Call-in show tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on this channel. Appreciate all of you. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Have a good night.